Well, we are just 2 days away from the grand reopening of Michigan Central Station.
For decades, the building sat unused, falling apart and decaying, but now everything has changed.
Joining us today to tell us more about it is Ron Staley, the construction manager on the Michigan Central Station project. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm excited to be here and share this great news of the Michigan Central Station opening back up to the public on Friday.
It's an incredibly exciting time. Can you explain just what your experience has been when you first landed on the scene? You were looking at a bit of an eyesore. How'd you get from there to where we are today?
Little steps all the way along. It's been a 5-year journey of just working with a great team to, first off, get all the water out of the building, over 2.5 million gallons of water, cover up over 18 different sections of roof that had leaks in it. And once we got the building dry, fix a lot of structural issues that had deteriorated over that time, and slowly bring all the fantastic finishes back that the public's going to get to see.
Yeah, we know there's a lot of different entities and people that work together to make this happen. Can you tell us about just the initial approach to take this and try to restore it? Because a lot of people looked at this as a symbol of just what Detroit had become in a negative space, but now we've brought it back to life.
Luckily, we've worked on a lot of historic buildings over the past 30 years, and we told Ford we'd seen everything that their building had in it, just not something that was 640,000 square feet. So this was quite a bit larger. But we had a very good team, a representative from Ford, from the design team, and over 85 trade contractors that worked with us. And so slowly, once the building was dried out, we were able to bring over 3,000 workers slowly onto the job site. Some days we're over 500 workers, and got to work with COVID for 2 years during that process also.
Sure. So it sat abandoned for decades, but even if it hadn't, the building was built so long ago. What were the biggest challenges in this project?
The biggest challenge on this project, like a lot of them, is understanding what the building's about, understanding how it was originally constructed, why we had some of the drawings. All the drawings were not the same, and so we had to kind of take the onion apart to put it back together and find some of the structure that we didn't know existed and had deteriorated. And but then there's some very unique aspects, the Guastavino tile ceilings in the waiting room that I know the public is going to absolutely love when they see it. Over 29,000 tiles. Every one of them had to be tapped and restored individually to make that ceiling what it is today.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot consistently that there's been a need to do those upgrades, but also still maintain the integrity of the original space and also have that familiarity there.
The public's going to see something that nobody has seen since 1913 when the building opened, and I don't think it was even this clean then because of all the steam locomotives that were in there. But what Ford has done is added technology to the building, architectural lighting to the building, that's going to it's going to make it a showcase for decades to come, hopefully for another century to come, and highlight what it can be in the future. That's what's really exciting about the restoration that has occurred.
Yeah, you've got all these updates, and it's a hub for innovation, but also has a rich history. So how do you think the public will notice just the marriage of the past and the future?
A lot of what they're going to see, just even walking to the building for the first time, is a lot of photographs of what the building looked like when we started, as well as black and white photos. And I think that's what's fun is the black and white photos. When we started the project, that was our vision of what the building was going to look like. Well, they're in color now. And to see all these light fixtures, a light fixture that weighs 2,700 pounds in the waiting room that has to be hung in that space, gives it a whole different feel for what it was historically. So the feel is still there. You can go and you'll see worn spots in the marble flooring where hopefully our grandparents used to travel through the building. That's still there, but you're also going to see some new finishes and state-of-the-art finishes in the building also.
Yeah, we know the big celebration is coming. Have you planned a vacation for yourself and your family to kick back after all this hard work?
After 5 years, I think we'll find one in there someplace, yes.
Yeah, and how about just the Courttown area? You know, it's in its own stage of revival. I imagine you got to know it quite a bit in your time working.
It has been fantastic to see everything on Michigan Avenue with the Godfrey and the Perennial and other developments going on Michigan Avenue because of Michigan Central coming to life. And just the business around there and the number of people up and down Michigan Avenue, it's very exciting to see.
All right, well, we thank you so much for coming by today. This is Ron Staley, construction manager on Michigan Central Station. Congratulations. We'll see you out there.
We'll look forward to seeing you.
All right, thanks for coming by.